Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to share insights from a one on one interview I conducted with Daniel, a veteran Australian arts educator who has been teaching for over 30 years now. His students have ranged from a very young age of 4 to an older 84-year-old, and he now teaches at a tertiary level, and our conversation provided a deep personal view into the emotional labor of a arts educator, especially in relation to students with mental health and well-being. So the reason why I chose Daniel uh, for the interview is because of his unique breadth of experience and his long-standing commitment to the art. He's a artist himself. His teaching journey spans multiple educational contexts of age groups and learning environments. I wanted to understand how a teacher with that kind of longevity navigates emotional connections with students, especially when the art often invite vulnerability and deep emotional expression. Um, so one of the key questions that asked Daniel was, can you describe a time when a student used art as a way of express emotions or distress or healing? In his personal experience, he haven't faced uh, any distress or emotional distress, but he was concerned about how it can also be there. It can also be read as an educator. You can understand if the student is emotionally distressed by uh, looking for uh, possible mental visual distresses in their artwork. He gave me examples like if the child is drawing, this is mommy and this is daddy hitting mommy, that's a call for concern. And Daniel's response, uh, other responses include the student using painting, drawings, and performance not just to fulfill a curricular requirement but to process grief or mostly identity struggles. He described one student who guiltily expressed their experience of family violence uh, through abstract painting, but even it wasn't uh, visually readable for the naked eye. Uh, it is uh, it is connectable when you connect to a deeper level, and we can say that for every type of art, not just visual art. You have to have a deeper understanding of the medium to really understand the meaning. And this emotional toll and is very real, as any educator you can relate. And what struck me most in our conversation was how Daniel described feeling emotionally saturated after years of carrying not just the students' academic growth but their emotional lives as well. He shared that while these moments are fulfilling, they're also draining, especially when institutions lack adequate structure to support educators like him. This aligns with what Figley 2002 defines as compassion fatigue, the emotional cost of prolonged exposure to other sufferings common along educators is in caring roles. It is very real, and as all educators will understand, you have to be ready for that as well. And how I connected as an educator, as a researcher, and also an educator myself, I found Daniel's reflection deeply relatable. Listening to him talk about blurred lines between teaching and caregiver reminded me of a it actually the exact word that he used is, as a educator, you're not teaching a subject, you're teaching a student, and that is a very important distinction to make. And that moment stuck with me, and I'll carry it for a very long time. Um, well, I too was absorbed. I too have absorbed student anxieties, felt overwhelmed by the stories, and also while doing research, while reading through all the material, I also had to deal with some emotional toll, and it is easy to get overwhelmed by stories, and yet uh, still you have to show expect and you're expected to perform. This interview wasn't just an academic exercise, it was a mirror. It reminded me that teaching is more than just a profession, it's an emotional journey. One that must be one that we must approach with care, not only for students but also ourselves. From our conversation, I identified three central themes: that art as an emotional language, uh, the hidden burden of care, and the need for systemic recognition. Uh, and The interview was conducted using qualitative methods grounded in interpretive, following Brown and Clark's 2006 six-step thematic analysis. Uh, and I've also transcribed the conversation. This approach allowed me to stay close to his voice while also linking his experience to broader theoretical frameworks like emotional labor, trauma informed pedagogy, and educator resilience. Um, when I talk about Daniel's story, it underscores the urgent need to integrate emotional support for educators into mental health initiative. Train teachers, especially in the arts, and not just in arts, in all subjects in trauma informed care, because you don't know teacher they, which educator the student open up to, uh, and we have to also embed art based well-being practices in curriculum, not only for students but as a space to share uh, and for healing. And in the final reflection, I would like to conclude uh, with the reminder that qualitative research is not just about collecting data, it's about human connections, it's about honoring the emotions and the truth behind teaching, and understanding that within every brushstroke, song, or story in an art class lies the potential for both healing and harm. And if we are to take student mental health seriously, we must also take teacher mental health seriously, starting with listening to voices like Daniel's. Thank you.